The fight over whether or not the Supreme Court vacancy left by the death of Justice Antonin Scalia should be filled after the presidential election has landed Democratic New York Senator Chuck Schumer in hot water. Democrats, including Schumer, are calling for a hearing and a vote this year on any nominee put forth by President Obama. But Schumer's being called a hypocrite by Republicans, stemming from a 2007 speech he gave following the retirement of Justice John Paul Stevens that has positioned him on both sides of the argument.
We cannot afford to see Justice Stevens replaced by another Roberts or Justice Ginsburg by another Alito. Given the track record of this president and the experience of obfuscation at hearings, with respect to the Supreme Court at least, I will recommend to my colleagues that we should not confirm any Bush nominee to the Supreme Court except in extraordinary circumstances.
The criticism Schumer has drawn as a preamble to the level of scrutiny he'll face as the Senate's Democratic leader, a post he's expected to assume next year. For Schumer, this is new territory. He's a 35-year veteran of the Senate, but during much of that time, Democratic philosophy tilted towards centrism. Not anymore. The center of gravity for both parties has reached both the liberal and conservative ends of the political spectrum. And Schumer is feeling criticism from the left also.
And I will support the motion of disapproval against this agreement.
After voting against the Iran nuclear deal last year and infuriating the White House, he criticized President Obama's budget this week, claiming it shortchanged New York and Homeland Security funding. That drew this response from White House Press Secretary Josh Earnest.
Senator Schumer is somebody that came out and opposed the international agreement to prevent Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon. He was wrong about that position, and most of his Democrats disagreed with him in taking that position. And when people look at the facts here when it comes to funding for Homeland Security, they recognize that he's wrong this time too.
Schumer will be in a precarious position if he assumes the Democratic leadership role, whether to appease the strong liberal caucus in the Senate or reach across the aisle in an attempt to work with Republicans. His first test is likely to be handling confirmation hearings scheduled by the Senate Judiciary Committee. Although he downplayed the importance of nomination hearings in his 2007 speech,
Confirmation commitments made at Senate hearings and Senate hearings themselves are often meaningless.
he said he will work with committee chairman and Republican Senator Chuck Grassley because, quote, there should be a thorough examination of every justice.